Self-improvement is dead. Do you ever feel like when you're doing your self-improvement habits and you're really in a rut that it feels like you're just struggling and clawing at nothing and you just keep resetting and you're trying your hardest not to go back to these old habits, but then you end up fapping and you end up watching porn and you end up playing a couple of hours of video games and you end up re-downloading YouTube, or you uninstall the nofap blocker. Today I'm going to tell you about the new self-improvement, because we've outgrown it, boys. Self-improvement did its time, but it reaches a certain point where counting how many days you fapped in a row becomes too little for you. You're ready for more, and that's what we're going to talk about in today's video. Self-improvement hinges all of its backing and all of its legitimacy, efficacy, on small incremental changes. If you go to the gym, twice a week, then you'll eventually lose 2 pounds. If you reach day 5 of nofap, you'll be able to levitate and control things with your mind. It's just one big loop that leads to repetitive mistakes, and when you do make a mistake, you're like a fat girl who cheats on her diet. You just eat. Oh, I've already messed up now. I've already eaten the one piece of cake. I may as well eat the whole thing. And that's where the biggest mistakes come from, is the resetting. I've already fapped once, so I may as well just go on a fapathon. I may as well just go on a wanking streak. And that's the trouble. Because even if you are doing well in self-improvement, you hit this certain level where you just plateau. You don't feel like you're getting any better. I hit this a couple of months ago and I was just thinking, when you have a day off from school, work, whatever, and you just don't do anything. You didn't do anything to make your life worse, but you didn't do anything to make it better. You're just in this perpetual state of limbo. There's nothing. You're not getting any better, no worse. You're just staying at your level. That's the worst thing for a man to experience. And this is what happens when you become comfortable with self-improvement. And the whole motto of self-improvement, I guess, is pushing your comfort zones. You're not meant to be comfortable when you're benching 100 kilos. But so many men become content with how they look, and they become happy, and they just leave it at that. And it just becomes this, again, repetitive cycle. But self-improvement is not about... What's the word? It's just trying to make yourself better. Obviously, self-improvement. But that's not what we need. I'm proposing that right here, right now, we start a new movement called self-transcendence, where instead of trying to, make ourselves better, it's more about becoming a new version of ourselves. You know how a caterpillar eventually enters its cocoon and turns into a butterfly? This is your cocoon stage now. Self-improvement was you in that caterpillar stage, going from a little tiny, barely an atom, and now you've evolved into a caterpillar. But now it's time to go away for a couple of weeks, couple of months, and emerge as a butterfly. This is your time to transcend the old self and become the new self. And the reason that you're going to want to do this is because instead of constantly struggling to become consistent in your journaling, I'm trying to journal, I only do it once a week, I'm trying to do it more. No, this new version of you, he journals every day. He goes to the gym every day. He does not struggle with that. He has his sights set on higher goals. He's not afraid to approach women. This is about changing your foundational beliefs and values. This is not just about, how many days you can go without fapping. This is about changing who you are as a person, because self-improvement is all about improving how the world affects you. It's all about how many times you watch porn. So how many times, like, it's about how you interact with the world and how the world interacts with you. But we never just focus on how we interact with our own mind, how we interact with ourselves. It's always just, oh, how do I approach this girl? Or this girl said this to me. What does that mean? I watched this, I did this, but you never focus on yourself internally. There's a bit of that with meditation and gratitude journaling, but there's never just self-reflection. And this is just more of a radical leap beyond self-improvement. And I know nowadays people really try to stay away from that word radical, but this is what it is. Self-improvement is not enough. Think, like I said, this little caterpillar. It's not enough. You're not a little caterpillar. If you can, it's like, think about it like this. You've got a Charmander, and, you need to be level, I don't even know, 16 to level him up to be a Charmeleon, and then 32 to level him up to a Charizard. You were a little Charmander, and now you've become a Charmeleon via self-improvement. You've improved yourself a little bit, you've gotten a little bit better. But even if you get that Charmeleon to level 99, he will never be as powerful as a level 1 Charizard. You're just taking yourself from this state where you're struggling so much and you're trying so hard, and you could just take yourself and become this new version of you that doesn't struggle with any of these past problems because of the way that you've changed how you look at the world and what you believe about the world itself. It's like if you're surrounded by a bunch of broke people your entire life, then you're going to have broke thoughts and broke beliefs and broke values. And chances are you have been. Because, 99% of the world's wealth goes to 1% of the population. It's like, chances are we've both been brought up thinking about the poor way of handling money. And self-transcendence is more about eradicating that old value system, the old beliefs that you had that held you back. The reason you are where you are right now, in here, your entire body, the way your body looks, the way you think, the way you interact with the world is because of your beliefs and your values that you've held and how you think about the world. This is about taking all of that, flipping it on its head and saying you can be different, you can be better. And this is about becoming a new version of yourself. And it's replacing it with a higher, hippie term, but it's replacing yourself with a higher being. You can reach a higher being, a higher state of existence simply by changing the way that you believe how you should interact and how people should interact with you. It's like a correlation, not correlation, it's cause and effect. It's like when you start gaining confidence after going to the gym for a while, you've probably experienced this. You were quite ugly, probably fat, skinny, whatever. You've come from being quite conventionally unattractive. And then, you gain a bit of confidence. When you first started, you weren't really treated that well. People would look at you weird. It's the halo effect. It's when you have this belief about yourself that you look better and you're happier in yourself and you feel better, then people will treat you better. And it's the same with this mindset and this change in values and beliefs. As soon as you begin to feel like you deserve something and feel like you are made for something, that thing will manifest and it will become reality. Like, it's crazy. I like just waffling about manifestation, but manifestation is not about asking the universe for something. It's about changing the way that you think about things so that in your mind you deserve this thing and you are going to get that thing. And by thinking about it like that, you're going to eventually get it. And that's just something that doesn't happen with self-improvement. It feels like you're just... Imagine a bucket full of lube, like all around the edge, just lined with lube, and you're just stuck in this bucket trying to claw your way out, and you're trying to climb your way out, but you keep getting pulled back to this old version of you. It all just comes down to self-image and how you believe you should act and who you think you are. It's just taking away this image of who you think you are, peeling back the layers, stripping it down to your core beliefs and values, changing those, and becoming a new version of yourself. And in the video that's going to be uploaded tomorrow, I'll tell you exactly how you can do everything we've talked about in today's video. Go click subscribe right now. Have a hard day and a great week. Mwah.